Hey everybody, welcome to Cards and Sharps. How y'all doing? Good, good, glad to hear it. Alright, we are here in the middle of March 2020, and I hope everybody is staying healthy and safe. Unfortunately, a lot of us are pretty much stuck at home. I'm working from home now, so lucky for me, I did have a knife order that had just come in, so I have some new knives to look at and play with and tell you folks about. Alright, what you are looking at here, first up, is the Karesuando Kniven Singi. And Karesuando Kniven is located in Sweden, and a little town called Karesuando. And I assume Kniven is Swedish for knife. Alright, as you can see, it comes in a nice little display box. Comes with a leather holster, and you get a little card with some information about Karesuando and a little map of Sweden on the back showing where it is. And they are, looks like, the far north part of Sweden, on the Finland border. They've been making knives for over 35 years, and their knives are made using natural materials that are native to the region. So, you know, it makes these unique in that it's going to be different than a lot of other stuff. Definitely different than your Chinese knives and even the U.S. made knives, because they're going to be using items that are not available here. They're handmade, and that is evidenced, and I'll explain in a minute, by some of the things that you'll see when you take it out of the box. This one, as I said, it's the Singi, and we'll move that box over out of the way. This is the Singi, I guess that's how they pronounce it, and it's got a button there, which is not a automatic opening button. It's a button lock. You don't see a lot of these around. Most knives are either just going to be a liner lock, frame lock, or a lock back. But this one, it's you just open it like you would a slip joint, and then when it gets to the end there, it locks, and it actually has a, I don't know if you can see it in there, a liner lock, and it's recessed down in there where you wouldn't be able to release it with your fingers. So you have this button here that pushes that liner over, and then it just closes right up. Okay, one of the natural materials that they use on this is this scales here, or handle, is made from curly birch and a natural finish, and has a really unique pattern in the graining there. And I will say, it is the smoothest handle material I think I've ever felt. It's just got a real silky, smooth finish to it. Very nice feeling, and also fits the hand, my size of hand, perfectly. You got this forward little choil area here for that finger, and then you just a nice curve to it, and then you get a good hold of it. Okay, this is it's not going to be a knife you flip open or anything. It just but it can be operated with one hand. I just cleaned it up, so it's not real. It's kind of slick right now, so I can't really get a grip of it with one hand, but you could, as you can see there. Alright, the reason I've cleaned it up is, one thing about, I mean, the example of them being put together by hand and all that, and also in the harsh conditions and that part is Sweden. It comes with a little residue of cosmoline down in it. You'll see it down here in the pivot area, even around these screw heads in the pivot screws, and even down in the liner and the slider and all that. And it was just a little gunked up with the cosmoline when it come in. This is the second one I've had come through here. The first one was one that I had ordered for my brother. It came in, I took it out, looked at it, did a video, cleaned the cosmoline off for him, and did the video, and had a malfunction in the camera, and the video did not take, and I wasn't able to put it up, and I didn't want to go grab the knife back from him to do the video. Instead, I liked the knife so well, I brought another one in for me and decided to do a video for it. As you can see, it's just a very handsome knife. And let's go over some of the specs. It's 7 3/4 inches overall length. The blade length is 3.25, and the blade thickness is 0.11. It's just a little thinner than you see. It most knives come in at around 12, so it's just a tad thinner. Blade material is stainless. From what I've been able to see, it's Sandvik stainless, and that is to be expected since Sandvik is a Swedish company. So what else? So blade style, drop point, hollow grind. It's got a satin finish, plain edge, and the handle length is 4.5, which is right in there in that range in which fits my hand really nicely. And we got, as I mentioned, curly birch is the wood that is used for the scales, and the weight is going to be 4.6 ounces. So for me, that would be just a tad heavy for a pocket knife, and it's a fairly thick knife too. It's not really designed to be carried in the pocket. It's designed to be carried in this nice leather scabbard. Probably will want to just kind of put that in there and let it sit in there a while to kind of, there we go, to kind of stretch that leather so it'll fit really nice and easy, but it should never get so easy that you don't feel secure with it. And then you got the, let's see, put it this way, yeah, there we go. And then you snap it shut, and it looks pretty cool with your cord and reindeer horn here, and which that is reindeer leather cord, twisted cord with a piece of reindeer antler on there for decoration, and then that kind of hangs out of the scabbard there and looks really cool. Alright, so this kind of reminds me of what, you know, I can picture your guys in Sweden run around named Born and Sven and all that. Outdoorsy guys that want to put their knife in their scabbard and head out into the wilderness. So I would say this is kind of reminiscent of, reminds me a little bit, using wise, at the same kind of thing you would a good old buck 110. So this is kind of a Swedish version of that. But as you can see, it's a handsome knife, and we'll compare it here to a well-worn buck 110. So we're not comparing current conditions. We're just comparing kind of style and size-wise. You can see a buck is going to be handle-wise around the same handle area. The buck blades are longer, as you can see, and when you have a full blade, it's about the same width. This one's just been sharpened so many times that it's down to half a blade, and it takes some pretty heavy grinding now to get an edge on it. So this is pretty much relegated to toolbox duty and stuff like that. The Buck 110s are heavy knives. It is definitely heavier than the Singi, but it's kind of, I would say, used by the same for the same reasons and purposes. And the Buck 110s do usually come with a leather scabbard, and most people don't carry them in their pocket; they carry them in the scabbard. So therefore, it's kind of a Swedish equivalent to the good old Buck. With this being a little more compared to just a standard Buck. Buck does make some collectible types. This is more, I'd call it a collectible knife. Be a good showpiece in your display case for sure, and very attractive looking knives. And to be honest, they really seem to be well made. Fit and finish is really nice. Would like to see maybe a little more chamfering in the frame here, because if you run your finger down in there, it just feels, the edges feel a little sharp. And the price range in which these knives run, which is in the $160 range, you'd like to see maybe a 100% complete finishing. Otherwise, I mean, there's no edges. Everything fits really nice. The fit is really good. It's just seemed that they could have been a little more detailed on putting a little chamfer on that. Not that it really presents much of a cut danger, but depending on how you're handling the knife and what happens, it could kind of maybe nick you a little bit in there. But otherwise, blade fits real nice and tight. The push button works good, and as you can see, it releases. Then you just drop it on in. Since I cleaned it and put a little drop of oil in there, that button snaps into place perfectly, and doesn't want to. Blade seems good and firm, good lockup on it, so no problems there. If you can see there, the centering is pretty much just dead on perfect, so very good there. It is adjustable pivot screws, so if you do develop any looseness or anything like that, you can tighten it. Or if you want to even maybe tighten the action up a little bit, right now it feels perfect. Not too easy, not too hard. So there you go. That is the Karesuando Kniven Singi button lock in the natural birch. Very, very nice looking knife, and one I'm gonna enjoy just looking at for a while. Alright, if you like this, give me a like and subscribe, and we'll be bringing some more cool knives your way very soon. We'll see you guys next time.